Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, I'm playing the Tier 6 Premium Canarias, which is a Spanish ship. Uh, why am I playing this ship? Well, you know, they had the event where you could pick one of these up. You could choose either this or the Dido, the Royal Navy light cruiser. But I already have multiple Royal Navy light cruisers, and I thought, well, this might be fun for something different. I'll give you the rundown on this particular ship. The guns are 203s, which can be effective, but really lack punch. So getting big damage with this thing is tough unless you're really close and somebody is flat broadside. Um, you know, for my play style, Dido might have been more fun, but since I didn't have anything like this, and I thought, well, you know, it couldn't hurt to start getting a captain trainer started. So I chose this one, you know, because I've got Leander and well, I have a whole bunch of Royal Navy cruisers. Anyway, the guns, they're 203s. Reload, the base reload is 12 seconds. I'm just kind of checking up my teammates, make sure they're kind of with me. I think before I played this, I had a couple games in a row where my battleships were basically AFK for half the game. You've probably been there. So 12-second reload, 180-degree turn time on the turrets of 22.5 seconds. Base firing range 16.15 kilometers, which isn't terrible. Max dispersion at range 144 meters. Uh, the guns only have AP. You can see that down there. You just have the AP. You don't have the choice of AG. I wish they did, but they don't. So I think this ship would be a lot more fun to play if it had AG. The AP is just okay. Max AP damage 3,800, which sounds great, but as you'll see in this game, while you can occasionally land a big shot, it doesn't happen as often as you think that it might, even in these low tiers. And right now I'm just trying to avoid getting blapped as I make a game return. So 1,254, put 3, 4, 5, so I landed 5 shells, did 1,254 damage. I'm going to take a little bit of damage from the CB here. And that was against the Königsberg, which is, you know, many people believe the squishiest of Tier 5 cruisers. Although I guess you could make an argument that the U.S. cruiser at Tier 5 is also pretty squishy. So there's another, and that's an overpen. So now I've landed 6 shells and 1,600 damage. And this is kind of representative of what this ship does, at least in my experience, even against really squishy targets. Now this Königsberg, he's going to run like he's running right now, and I'm going to be able to make him pay for that. But these are not great shells. Submarino enemigo a la vista. And I've got the Agano in front of me, so I need to start paying attention to him. So I've landed, say, 17 shells and I've done 10,000 damage. Now he knows that I'm here. He's trying to angle against me a little bit. Now I've got to angle against him. I'm showing broadside. Now there's a big shot. They just don't happen that often. I'm trying to get a blast over the island there. So now, now I've landed 25 shells for not quite 18,000 damage. It is a frustrating experience playing this thing sometimes. Now this was a good game. You see both teams are now down 3 ships. In the fairly early going, our Budyani that's over there on the 10 line, he's dead. He just doesn't know it yet. But there's no way he survives what's coming. There were 2 DDs, a sub, and the Canarias for the red team over there. And Budyani's nose first into a rock, and he's just waiting to die. Now I have to reposition here, and I'm just thinking about how I want to do that. I was thinking I might cross more center, but that Agano, is, I think, a decent target. So let's take a look at the skill set on this ship. Of course, all AP, but you do have Hydro at Tier 6, which is kind of nice, and a speed boost. And the speed boost, as you can see, runs for a long time. So I'm up to over 37 knots right now in a Tier 6 cruiser. So in terms of being able to reposition, this can be really handy. And in a game like this that's lower tier, if you're stuck against Tier 8 opponents, this thing is just, it's dead weight. It is terrible to play against Tier 8 ships. But in this game, not too bad. Now you can see the Agano is reasonably well angled here. I try to punch through the stern of his ship, do a little bit of damage, got the Hydro up against torpedoes, and he's going to actually show me broadside here. And that one hurt, and I'll be able to finish him off here. It's just a question of whether there's going to be secondaries. And it is, look at that, got a close quarters expert in a Tier 6 Canarias. I think that's probably the only time I did it, and really, I probably won't be playing this thing a lot. So there's the ship that you can also choose. It's got torpedoes, and it has the ability to do some things that you might be more familiar with in the Royal Navy light cruiser line. And I just whiffed completely on that one. I'm going to go over here and try and help our Koenig. Now, the bad guys got behind the team. And I want to say at this point, so here we are kind of in the middle of the match. And the red team is very much behind us. Now I'm taking a look at, we've got the CV here. And it's, I think it's safe to assume this destroyer is in here now somewhere. So we got this guy here was the last place he was seen, so he's probably here. This destroyer is probably here. And there was another destroyer and a sub. Now, I don't know where the sub went, and they're a little bit slower, not a lot. But see these? So there's something probably this side of the rocks, unless it was, you know, the Fubuki torps. But that dispersion, that doesn't look like Fubuki torps to me. Regardless, my guess is you've got Podboyski up here along with the Fubuki and the Canarias, but I've got to head that way because our CV looks like he's nose into the island. He doesn't have anywhere to run. If he reverses, he's going to start getting shot. So he just has to sit there. So let's see. But I'm going to go up there and see if I can help. Oh, those torpedoes were from the CV, and you probably noticed that, and I missed it, both in-game and just now. Now I'm detected, so that tells me that there's somebody who can see me probably right where I'm looking right now. Three shells on target. And you saw the rather anemic damage. So yes, they are 203s. Yes, you can land a big shot occasionally. But I think that falls into the category of even a blind squirrel can find a nut every once in a while. It's not going to happen very often. Now, will the CV get him or will I? I'm going to try and make sure it's me. Spread the shells out a little bit. And CV missed. I caught him. Now, I'm not detected yet, so the destroyers are back this way a little bit, so I'm going to get my nose to them because I expect torpedoes. Now, one thing that I want to comment on here, one thing about these AP shells, because they are Royal Navy type AP shells, they arm much more quickly, which means that they can do a surprising amount of damage against destroyers. And that's one reason why I'm not afraid to take this fight. We've got a couple destroyers here, I think, but I'm going to be able to do good damage. So often when you've got AP, and it's not Royal Navy, you're going to be doing a lot of overpens, and the damage is going to be minimal, and sometimes, especially these tiers, they'll just run right at you. These AP shells, you can actually do some damage against destroyers. Okay, so there's Podboyski, and he's going to show me his side, thinking, oh, maybe I get torpedoes on him, because he's probably a newer player. 3 overpens and 1 penetration, which of course belies everything I was just telling you, but I still stand by that statement. You can do good damage against destroyers. Now I'm turning in here because I expect torpedoes.
Torpedos al frente.
And there they are. Now his range isn't enough. Okay, so look, we got the sub and 2 destroyers here, and Fubuki torps have got to be coming, right? Now Fubuki's going to, but I'm sticking to the Podboyski. Its engines are out. I'm going to try and wrap the sub. Okay, so now that's what I'm talking about. You can do some damage with this AP on destroyers. Fubuki is just showing no respect whatsoever, and he takes almost 5,500 damage. And I'm sure his torps are probably on the way, but I'm going to try and finish him off as well. You can see he slowed down, but yeah, I totally whiffed. Alright, so Hatsuharu's on the way. CV's over there. Let's see if I can get around this torpedo. I think I can. And he's encircled, and Hatsuharu's going to spot him here any second. And when he does, I'm going to try and blap him and pick up a Kraken. Alright, there's the Kraken unleashed. Now, now we've got this game firmly in hand. There's really no doubt about it. But let's take a look at the scoreboard. Shot down 2 aircraft, big deal. 56 shells on target, 43,000 damage. Yeah, I sank 5 ships, but that's nothing. I did manage to pick up 2 citadels, but that's out of 56 with 2 O3s. Again, not terribly effective. All right, let's keep moving. And although this is not a bad ship, this is not a bad tier 6 cruiser, and I did have some fun playing it. I think probably I would have had more fun with the Dido. But I have myself what are they calling these? Pan American line. I've got a captain trainer. Now I'm a long way from the fight, but I've got 3 minutes of being able to move at 37 and almost 38 knots. And still 9 minutes in the game. Harkonnen, he's probably going to get sunk here. And rather than cross through the middle, I'm going to go this way and go around this island. I'm not really sure where their Dido is going to go, and if he comes north toward our CV, I want to be able to cut him off. Feel free to fast forward through this section. This is a little bit boring. In fact, I can do that for you. We're just going to go ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. We'll save a little time. Now I don't know exactly where they are, but I have an idea. And I'm going to hope to catch this Dido. You can see where his last known position was that I've just pinged. And if I catch him broadside, which he is, I'm going to be able to take him out. Now I want to avoid those New York shells. Dido is moving forward. So I'm hoping I can finish him off with just the forward guns. And there he is. I'm actually going to get the shot off. That's Citadel number 3 on a perfectly broadside Dido at very close range. This game's going to end here in just a second. So, yes, 6 kills, but, you know, look, it's tiers 5 and 6. A lot of these guys probably have like 50 games under their belt. So, this is nothing to brag about, and this is nothing but 59 shells, 45,000 damage, and that's with 3 citadels. So if you do decide to pick this ship up, if you're doing this event right now, just understand that this ship can be very underwhelming. I'm not even going to get a shot off, I think, on this New York. I was really just going to go for the ram if I had time, but I'm not going to get that time. I really appreciate you joining me. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure to put it together. And this is not a terrible ship. I don't want to give you that impression. Kind of typical of Tier 6, really. But there are much better ships. I'll see you next time.